If you're looking for a cool, unique crochet hat, then you've come to the right place. I'm Little John Yarns, and today we're making this beautiful crochet flower mesh cap made from single crochets and chain stitches. This is perfect for the warm weather. Let's hop into the pattern breakdown. We'll begin by crocheting the flower, followed by attaching the mesh around the flower. This mesh will be worked in increasing rows that will eventually wrap around the head, and once the rose is completely finished, we'll work back and forth in a zigzag stitch to close off the hat. You can help support this channel by downloading the written PDF. All the information will be down in the description box below. The materials we'll be using for this video are Caron Simply Soft and a 3.75mm crochet hook. Also, I provide timestamps for all my tutorials for easy pattern navigation. We are going to begin with a 3 3/4mm crochet hook, also known as an F, and some worsted weight yarn. I'm using Caron Simply Soft. And we're going to make 5 of these little petals right here. So to begin, we're going to start with a chain of 12. And once you have your chain of 12, you're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. 1, 2. And single crochet into the very next stitch. Half double crochet into the next. Double crochet into the next stitch. Now we're going to triple crochet into the next 2 stitches. To do that, yarn over twice. 1, 2. Go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2 again. That is the treble crochet. Let's treble crochet into the next stitch. Yarn over twice, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 double crochet into the next, and double crochet into that very next stitch. Now we're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So that's 1 half double crochet, followed by another half double crochet into that next stitch. Now we're going to place 3 single crochets into that very last stitch. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to be working on the underside of your chain. We're just going to reverse the stitches going backwards. So we're going to place 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Don't get confused and use this one right here as a stitch. We're going to go into this stitch right here. So 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. I like to weave in my work as I go. That's the first half double crochet. Into the next stitch, place another half double crochet. Now place 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Here's 1 double crochet, and here's your second double crochet into that next stitch. Now we're going to place 1 treble crochet into the next 2 stitches. So yarn over twice for your treble crochet into that next stitch, and complete your treble crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Let's repeat that in the next stitch. Treble crochet. Now let's finish the reverse of this. We're going to double crochet into the next stitch. Just 1 double crochet. Half double crochet into the next, And now we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Now we're going to chain 1, turn our work. We're going to be working into the back loops only. We're going to single crochet into the next 11 stitches, including the one you just came from. So go back into that back loop. As you can see, the V's. Here's one front V and the back V. We're going to work into the back V only, the back loop. So that's 1 single crochet. Go into the next back loop only. 2 single crochet. So pause your video here and I'll meet you when you make it to your 11th stitch. Okay, now that we made it to our 11th stitch, we are going to place 3 single crochet into that very same stitch. 1 back into the same stitch, 2 back into the same stitch, and 3. Now we're just going to place a single crochet in the back loops in each stitch all the way to the end for a total of 11 single crochets. So in the next stitch, 1 and 2. Pause your video here when you make it to your 11th stitch. Okay, we made it to the very end of the row, and if this is your very first petal, you can fasten off from here. But if this is petal 2 through 4, I'm going to teach you a quick trick so you can sew your work together so you won't have to do it later. So we're going to grab our second piece. We're going to make sure both pieces are facing on the wrong side. The wrong side will be facing outwards. You can tell it's the wrong size because you can see the little loops that we haven't worked into. So we're going to take our working piece, turn it the opposite way so the outside, the wrong side is facing out, and the wrong side of this one is facing out. We're going to insert our hook into the front loop only. I know it's hard to see, but we're going to insert our hook into that very front loop. And now we're just going to pull through like a slip stitch. And to work these together, we're going to work up a total of 6 stitches. This stitch will be 1. So we're going to go through the front loop of the first side, the back loop, not the front, but the back loop of the second side, and slip stitch loosely. So that will be our second stitch. I'll show you again. We are going to front loop through the first side, back loop through the second side, slip stitch loosely. That's 3. Show you one more time. Front loop, back loop, and slip stitch. That's 4. Front loop, back loop, slip stitch. 5. Front loop. Whoops, messed up that one. Here we go. Front loop, back loop, and slip stitch lightly. I believe that is 6. And now they are together and you can fasten off your work. Go ahead and move on to your other 3 petals and combine them just like you did with this clip right here. All right, so pause your video here and complete the remainder of your 3 petals and I'll meet you when you're done. Okay, we have all of our 5 petals crocheted together. So now we're just going to work underneath and place single crochets underneath the petals of the flower. All right, so turn your work upside down. I have my work facing the right side up. What we're going to do, we're going to place 3 single crochets per flower on the outside, the middle, and outside. That'll be 3 single crochets. Outside, middle, outside. Just like that. So let's attach our yarn to the very end of your very first petal. All right, we're going to single crochet into that very same stitch. So this will be our first single crochet. So that's 1. Now we're going to go into the middle of that petal. 2, and now we're going to go to the side of the petal. I'm having a little trouble working my way through. Let me try that side again. There we go. 3. So let's do 3 again. On the outside of your petal. 1. The middle center of your petal. 2. And another outside of your petal right here. And 3. We're going to repeat that all the way across. Remember, we're having 3 single crochets per petal. At the very end, you should have a total of 15 single crochets. So pause your video here, and I'll meet you at the other side. We made it to the very end of the row, and you should have a total of 15 stitches. So now we're just going to chain 1 and turn our work. And we're going to begin our pattern repeat. We're going to start by placing a single crochet into the next 3 stitches, including this first one. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to single crochet together the next 2 stitches. Go into the first one and go into the second one. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, and that is a single crochet together. I'll show you again. So single crochet 3, 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3, and single crochet together the next 2 stitches. Go into the first loop, go into the second loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And I'll show you the last time. 1, 2, and 3 single crochets, and the last 2 stitches we're going to single crochet together. Go into the first stitch and go into the second stitch, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. All right, and here's what your work looks like so far. Now we're not going to chain. We're going to turn our work. Get this yarn in the right position. And we're just going to slip stitch to join into that very first single crochet. Here's the first single crochet. Let's slip stitch to join. And it creates a little ring. And from here, you just fasten off your work, and we'll move on to the very next step. Okay, now we're going to start building the mesh onto our flower. We're not going to build this hat like a typical hat from the top down or the bottom up. We're going to be building this around the hat, around your head. So what it's going to look like, it's going to look like a rectangle coming off of your flower going up. So just so you're prepared, so you know what you're working into, I'll try to insert a picture on what it's going to look like as it builds up. All right, so let's go into your very first petal. We're going to find the center single crochet of your 3 single crochets from the previous row. So here's your 3 single crochets, and here is the center stitch. We are going to go 3 stitches over from that center single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and that's where we're going to attach our yarn. Once your yarn is attached, we are going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we are going to single crochet into the very top of that single crochet, that center single crochet. We're building our base for our mesh. Now chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to do a double crochet 2 together into these 2 petals. So we're going to insert our hook 1, 2, 3 on the 3rd stitch down. We're going to start our double crochet together. So yarn over 1, 2, 3, go into the 3rd stitch down and start your double crochet together. So that's yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. So yarn over, we're going to go to the opposite petal. Once again, find that center crochet, single crochet, drop down 3, 1, 2, 3, insert your hook, and we're going to complete that double crochet 2 together. So pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 3. And that's your double crochet 2 together. So let's chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be our pattern repeat going across. So single crochet into that very first single crochet, the top one. As you can tell, it's 3 stitches up. 1, 2, 3. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just like the opposite side, we're going to double crochet 2 stitches together. Oh, my husband's home. I can hear the music playing in the background as he comes in. So sorry about that. So yarn over, go 3 stitches down. 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, and start your double crochet. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. So yarn over, we're going to go into the very next petal, and we're going to drop down 3 stitches from your single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook and pull up a loop. Now yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have a total of 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And we're going to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And single crochet into that very top middle single crochet. You can tell where it is because it's 1, 2, 3 stitches up. Let's do that single crochet. And chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, guys, that is going to be our pattern repeat all the way across. It's just like this side. So after chain 5, we're going to double crochet 2 stitches together, then chain 5 and single crochet into that middle single crochet stitch on your petal. So pause your video here and repeat that sequence all the way across, and I'll meet you at this very last stitch. We'll work together. All right, we're almost at the very end of this row. Don't forget your last chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to double crochet into the 3rd stitch down. 1, 2, 3 to finish off this row. And here's what your work looks like so far. And remember, you'll have a double crochet together in between all of your petals. Double crochet togethers. All right, so next we are going to chain 1. Turn your work. We're going to single crochet into that very same stitch. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the very next single crochet right here, so at the top of your petal. And chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to begin our pattern repeat. We're going to start by working into every loop and every double crochet together, every loop, every single crochet, every loop, every double crochet together, every loop, every single crochet. Basically, we're working every loop and every stitch. So let me show you how that works. We did our chain 5. Now single crochet into the loop. Chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, we're going to work into that double crochet together right here. But quick tip, instead of going right in between your stitch as normal, for this, I want you to go underneath your stitches like this. Why I'm doing this? Because once the hat is completely put together, the stitches will stretch and you'll have a very ugly hole right here that I learned. So to bring that stitch together, I'm just going to go under that X right there and complete my single crochet. It brings those stitches together nicely and no stretch. All right, let's continue our pattern. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the loop because we're working in every loop. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the next single crochet because we're working every stitch. All right, and chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to repeat that sequence all the way across by chaining 5, working into the loop, chaining 5, working into the stitch, chain 5, working into the loop, chain 5, working into the stitch, chain 5, working into the loop, all the way across until you make it into this very last single crochet right here, and we'll work that last stitch together. Okay, we've made it to the very end of this row, and we already did our last single crochet on the top of your petal of your flower. And we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to single crochet into the third stitch up. So let me turn my work so I can see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. There it is. Single crochet. All right, at the very end of this row, you should have a total of 18 loops. So go back and check and make sure you have 18 loops. All right, for our very next row, for the next actual 6 rows is going to be exactly the same. So we're going to chain 1, turn your work. We're going to single crochet into the very same space. And I want you to pay attention to this single crochet because you're going to need to find this at the very end of your rows. This single crochet is not necessary, but it is a visual marker so you know exactly where your row ends and where to end with your stitch. It's confusing now, but I'll show it to you when we get to the very end of this row. All right, so we got our single crochet there. We're going to slip stitch into that very first loop. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the next loop. And chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the next loop. All right, that is going to be our pattern repeat all the way across. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the next loop. Chain 5, single crochet into the next, chain 5, single crochet into the next. So pause your video here, continue doing that until you make it to your very last loop. So pause your video here and I'll meet you at this last loop. Okay, we've made it almost to the very end of the row. I already chained 5, so I'm going to single crochet into that very last loop. And chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember at the beginning of the row, I was telling you about the visual marker of that very first single crochet. Here it is at the very end. So I chained 5, and if you can see, there's a single crochet from the previous row. We are going to single crochet right back into that stitch. It's hard to see, but it's right there. Single crochet. And that is the end of your row. You should have a total of 18 loops. You'll always have 18 loops for your next 5 rows. If you miss this stitch, you'll only have 17 loops and you'll keep reducing on each row. So make sure you do not miss this last stitch. I'm going to show you this row one more time. So chain 1, turn your work, single crochet into that very same stitch. This single crochet will be your visual stitch marker at the ends of your row. So slip stitch into that first loop, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet into that next loop. All right, so we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet to the next loop all the way across until you make it to the other side. So remember, single crochet, chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, over and over until you make it to your very last loop, and we'll work that last stitch together. Okay, we've made it almost to the end of this row. I already did my chain 5, and this loop is your very last loop. So single crochet and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that single crochet I said is a visual marker. As you can see, here's that loop. It kind of bumps off to the side right here. So that's what we're going to single crochet back into. Please don't forget this stitch. All right, so we're just going to repeat this for 4 more rows. You're going to chain 1, turn your work, and single crochet into that very same space. All right, and don't worry if this edge starts to look bulky right here. We're going to single crochet around that and make the brim when the hat's all complete. All right, so pause your video here. I want you to repeat this last row for a total of 4 more times. So I'll meet you at the completion of your 4 rows. Okay, here's what our work looks like so far after you completed those additional rows. So I'm just going to zoom in so we can see a little bit better and start working back on our hat. Let me get my hook ready. As you can see, I found my old hook again. All right, so we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to turn our work. Just like before, we're going to single crochet into that very same stitch, slip stitch into the next chain 5 loop, and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to single crochet, chain 5 7 times. So single crochet, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1. Single crochet, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. Pause your video here and do that 5 more times. Okay, we completed those 7. Just so you can make sure, remember this was your slip stitch right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let's insert our hook back into our work. And now we are going to single crochet together 2 loops. So go in, pull up a loop. Now go into the second loop and pull up a loop. You will have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. As simple as that. Now chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're going to go back into a pattern repeat. We're going to single crochet, chain 5 8 times. So don't go into this stitch that you just worked in. So single crochet, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 1. Single crochet, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. All right, we're going to repeat that 6 more times, and I'll meet you at the last stitch. All right, we finished those 8 just so we can make sure. We'll go back to that single crochet 2 together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're on that very last stitch. We are going to single crochet into that reminder stitch. Remember the single crochet from the previous row? Right there. You can't miss it. It's kind of bulky. And single crochet. Chain 1. And let's turn our work. Oh, my camera got messed up. So, hold on. Let me pause my video so I can get ready for the next spot. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. At the end of that last row, you should have a total of 17 loops. All right, for this row, I believe we already chained 1, and we are going to single crochet into the very same space. Now slip stitch into that first chain 5 space like usual. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we are going to single crochet, chain 5, 6 times. So I'll start with you. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I need you to do that 4 more times. So pause your video here and complete that 4 more times. Okay, we completed that, and you can go back and check. Remember, don't start your counting with your slip stitch. Count here, and you'll be able to count 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we are going to single crochet 2 loops together. Go into the first loop and go into the second loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we are now going to single crochet, chain 5, 9 times, all the way to the very end. Well, actually, we're going to single crochet, chain 5, for a total of 8 times. All right, I hope I didn't make that sound confusing. I'll start with you. Single crochet, remember, don't go into that loop. Sometimes I tend to talk too much and talk myself into a corner. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 1. Single crochet into the next loop. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're going to do that 6 more times. Single crochet, chain 5, 6 more times. So pause your video here. All right, we made it to the very end of the row, and we made it back to our reminder single crochet, and we're just going to single crochet into that stitch. Chain 1, turn your work, and let's single crochet back into that very same stitch. And as usual, slip stitch into the very first loop. At the very end of your last row, I keep forgetting to tell you your loop count. You should have a total of 16 loops. All right, for this row, let's slip stitch into that very first chain 5 loop. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This row is going to be completely normal, no decreases. We're just going to chain 5 and single crochet into each loop. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the next loop. All right, pause your video here. I want you to do that all the way across, chain 5, single crochet until you make it to the other side. And we'll pick up that very last stitch together. Okay, we've made it to the very end of the row where you got your little reminder single crochet. So make sure you chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet into your reminder single crochet from the previous row. At the end of this row, you should still have a total of 16 loops. Next row, we're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Let's single crochet back into the very same stitch. And slip stitch into the very first chain 5 space. All right, this row is going to be another reduction row. Let me chain 5 after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to single crochet, chain 5, 8 times. So single crochet, chain 5, 8 times. I'll start it with you. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. I need you to do that 6 more times, so it'll be a total of 8. So pause your video here. Okay, we completed those 8 single crochet chain 5s. So next we're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. So go into the first loop, pull up a loop, second loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the 3 loops on your hook. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're just going to find my loop, single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to the end of the your last loop, and we'll do the reminder stitch together. All right, we made it down to our very last reminder single crochet. So we're just going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the previous row, single crochet. Chain 1. Whoops, at the end of this row, you should have a total of 15 loops. I always forget to tell you how many loops we have. We already chained 1, so let's turn our work, and we're going to single crochet back into that very same stitch. And as usual, slip stitch into the first chain, chain 5, and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to single crochet, chain 5 7 times. So I'll start the first 2 with you as normal. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1. Single crochet, chain, and chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's 2. All right, go ahead and do 5 more of those for a total of 7, and I'll meet you at the end of those. All right, we completed those single crochet, chain 5s a total of 7 times. So now we're going to single crochet 2 loops together again. Go into the first loop, pull up a loop, second loop, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're just going to single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to the end of your last loop, and we'll work that very last reminder single crochet together. So pause your video here. Okay, we made it to the very end of this row, or reminder single crochet. So make sure you chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into your reminder single crochet. At the end of this row, you should have a total of 14 loops. Let's start our next row. Chain 1, turn your work, single crochet into the very same stitch. We're doing the last few rows of reducing. Slip stitch into the next chain 5 loop. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we are going to single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. This was 1. I want you to do it 5 more times. So pause your video here so you'll have a total of 6 single crochet chain 5s. All right, we completed those. And of course, you can go back and check that you have 6. Remember, don't count your slip stitch. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, we're going to single crochet 2 loops together. Yarn over, pull through all 3. You'll start to notice your hat's starting to curve and bend as if becoming the shape of someone's head. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, as usual, we are going to single crochet, chain 5, all the way to the very end of the row, and we'll work that reminder single crochet together. So remember, next stitch, single crochet, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to the end of the row. So pause your video here. All right, we made it to the reminder single crochet at the end of the row. So chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into that previous row, single crochet. At the end of this row, you should have a total of 13 loops. Chain 1. Turn your work. Single crochet into the very same stitch. slip stitch into the very next stitch, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are going to single crochet, chain 5 times. I'll do the first one with you. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1. You're going to do it a total of 5 times. So pause your video here and I'll meet you at the completion of your 5. Okay, we completed those 5, and of course you can go back and count to make sure. So next we're going to single crochet those 2 stitches together to reduce. Yarn over, pull through 3. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next we're just going to single crochet and chain 5 to the end of the row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So single crochet, chain 5 all the way to the end of the row, and we'll do that reminder single crochet together. Pause your video here. Alright, we made it to the very end of the row. I already chained 5, and let's single crochet into that reminder stitch. At the end of this row, you should have a total of 12 loops. Chain 1, turn your work. As usual, single crochet into the same space, slip stitch into the next, and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me adjust my pattern that I'm reading on the side of the screen. All right, just like before, we are going to single crochet, chain 5, a total of 5 times. So single crochet, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 1. We're going to do that a total of 5 times. So pause your video here and complete those stitches. Okay, we completed those. So now it's time to single crochet 2 stitches together. First loop, second loop, yarn over, pull through 3. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the very next loop and chain 5. Single crochet, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to repeat that all the way to the end of the row, just like usual, and we'll pick up on the reminder stitch. So pause your video here. All right, we're back to the reminder stitch. I already chained 5. So let's single crochet into that very last reminder stitch at the end of the row. Chain 1. At the end of this row, you should have a total of 11 loops. Let's turn your work. Single crochet into that very same single crochet. Slip stitch into the chain 5 space. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to single crochet, chain 5 2 times. We'll work those together. So single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. Now we're going to single crochet 2 loops together. First loop, second loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the next loop and chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the next 2 stitches, we're going to single crochet 2 loops together. Go into the first loop, second loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're just going to single crochet, chain 5, all the way to the end of the row. So you know how to do that. You can pause your video here and continue placing single crochets, chain 5 until we make it to our reminder mark. Pause your video. We've made it to the end of the row with your reminder single crochet. So single crochet into that stitch. And you should have a total of 9 loops after this row. Chain 1. Turn your work. This is our last row building on the hat. Single crochet into the very same stitch. Slip stitch into the next. And chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to single crochet, chain 5 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll work this one with you together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. Single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that was 3 single crochet chain 5s. Next, we're going to single crochet 2 loops together. First loop, second loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. Now we're just going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're just going to single crochet chain 5 into the end of the row. So pause your video here. We've made it to the very end of the row to your reminder single crochet. So we're just going to single crochet into that last stitch. Right now I want you to pull your loop really long, because right now is a great opportunity to try on your hat to see if it fits. If it doesn't, I just want you to add just 1 even row going across the top. I'll show you with my mannequin. Here's the one side, and here's the other side, how it's going to close off. Pinch your sides together. If it fits your head at the base, then it's the correct size. If it feels a little bit tight, just add 1 additional row of single crochet, slip stitch, single crochet, chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, all the way across. Just an even row if it does not fit your head. If it fits perfectly, we're just going to move on to the very next step, as in closing off your hat. Now it's time to close off your hat. Make sure your work is on the wrong side facing out. Chain 2, 1 and 2. I want you to turn your work so your working yarn is in the back. And I want you to bring your 2 sides together, like so, because we're going to close off our work. Insert your hook into the very first single crochet with the side that's facing you. And grab your working yarn and slip stitch through. Simple as that. Now chain 3. 1, 2, 3. What we're doing next, we're going to chain 3 and work from the back to the front, back to front, back to front in a zigzag motion. So we chain 3, go into that very next unworked loop and slip stitch. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now go into the front unworked loop and slip stitch. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Go into the back next unworked loop, slip stitch, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Go into the front unworked loop, slip stitch. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to continue that until your work is closed. So pause your video here and continue those last few stitches. Okay, I've made it to my very last unworked loop right here. And I'm just going to slip stitch into it and fasten off my work. And here's what your hat looks like so far. Now the easiest part, we're just going to work on the brim of your hat. Make sure your hat is turned on the right side, facing out. For easiness, I'm just going to start by attaching the yarn to the first available single crochet that was on the flower. And attach my new yarn. Chain 1 to attach your yarn. And chain 1. Single crochet into the very same space. We're going to single crochet all the way around the border of your hat. Nothing fancy. When you make it to the mesh parts of your hat, just single crochet evenly all the way around so you'll have enough room for your head. So pause your video here, continue placing single crochets all the way around the border of your hat until you make it back to the other side. Okay, we made it back around and we're just going to slip stitch into that very first single crochet to join. I know somebody's going to ask me, Alicia, but how many single crochets go around? I'm not exactly sure. I evenly single crocheted everything around. To know if you put enough in, try it on your head. If it no longer fits your head, that means you didn't put enough single crochets in. Simple as that. All right, next row. We are going to chain 2. That chain 2 does not count as a stitch. We're just going to double crochet into the same space and double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Simple as that. So pause your video here, continue placing 1 double crochet stitch in each stitch around until you make it back to the other side. Okay, we've made it back around to the other side. Excuse me, tongue twister, other side, and we're just going to slip stitch the joint into the very first double crochet. And if you just want a simple hat, you can just do another row of double crochet, but I enjoy doing a front post double crochet. So chain 1, the front post double crochet gives the border of the hat a nice little stretch bounce to it. So to do a front post double crochet, you're going to yarn over. Instead of going into the top V of your stitch, we're going to go behind your post, which is this part right here. Go behind it and push it forward. Hence the term front post double crochet. The post is now pushed forward. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 just like a normal double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2 again. I'll show you one more time. Yarn over, go behind your post, push it forward, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, we're going to continue placing front post double crochets all the way around until you make it to the other side. So pause your video here. We've made it back to the other side and we're just going to slip stitch to join. Don't mistake this chain 2 as a stitch. And fasten off your work. And your hat is complete. I'll show you what it looks like on the mannequin. If you like this tutorial, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and give this video a thumbs up, and check out my other crochet hats. Alright guys, I'll see you all on the next tutorial.